No Jennifer in that?
We're good? Jennifer has some business upstairs she wants to keep an eye on.
Yep.
So we'll call to order the City of Brainerd Personnel Finance Committee meeting and we'll start with introductions.
Tiffany Stingline, Ward 3.
Connie Hillman, City Finance Director.
Alderman at Large, Kevin Stunick.
Joe Langell, City Attorney.
Chris Schubert, HR Director.
Dave Johnson, Chair of the Committee. We have 5 items on the agenda tonight, the first of which is accept the resignation of Engineering Technician Justin Larson. Chris.
Engineering Technician Justin Larson has submitted his notice of resignation with his last working day being Friday, October 21st. Staff asks that the council accept Justin's resignation and to authorize staff to begin the hiring process for the position.
I make a motion to accept with regret. That's what.
Second.
We have a motion second to accept with regret and to authorize staff to begin the hiring process to fill the position. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Next up is the approval of promotion of Crystal Gottner to Transit Coordinator.
On August 1st, the City Council accepted Transit Coordinator's Amy Stone's retirement and requested time to go over the organizational structure of the Transit Department. At the October 3rd meeting, staff asked to be able to conduct an internal job posting. We had 1 application from our acting Transit Coordinator, Crystal Gauthier. We are recommending the promotion of Crystal to the Transit Coordinator position effective tomorrow, October 18th. We are asking for her to be placed at step 2. She is currently at step 1 in that acting role. So our employee policy manual says the next step from where she's currently at. And also at this time, staff is not asking to backfill a transit operations specialist position. That was her position before she became the acting transit coordinator. We are hoping that other administrative staff can absorb some of her duties and help her that way, and then we'll monitor it. So if that is not working out, we'll let you know.
That was one of the big things with the Public Works Administrative Specialist, that they were going to take on some of those duties as far as billing and that kind of stuff for the transit.
By not backfilling, how much money does that save us?
Zero transit, so.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Or should be self-funding.
But we might save a couple dollars if our administrative staff is tracking their time and that time can be coded to transit.
Correct.
So we'd be saving money on that end.
We have, right now, we have 20% of accounts payable time going to transit, and we also have, I do believe it's 10% of the Public Works budgeted to go to the transit operations. And then we'll track actual time to know for 2024.
Yeah, keep it updated every year.
Yep.
I move to approve the promotion of Crystal Gauthier to the Transit Coordinator position effective tomorrow, and that should be placed at step 2.
The second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Next up is we should consider the classification and compensation study proposals.
On September 6th, the City Council authorized request for proposals process for our classification and compensation study. Proposals were due September 28th, and we had 3 companies submitting proposals. The companies were Flaherty and Hood, Abdo, and Paypoint HR. Staff is recommending to accept the proposal received from Flaherty and Hood for a classification and compensation study at $155 per hour, subject to a not exceed amount of $40,000. In addition to that, they have offered some options, and staff is recommending that we take those options. The options are for a PowerPoint presentation regarding the study to incumbent employees, employee questionnaire interviews, and also an appeals process. So why we're recommending that is we have done 2 classification studies within the last 10 years and definitely saw the value of employee input and feedback through that process. They feel they're heard and the consultant can work directly with them. And that's something that I would strongly recommend. The cost for those additional proposals is $10,250. There is also an additional option for a supplement pay system, and I'm not exactly sure what that is. So at this point, and I don't know what it means in the labor market. So what I thought is, why don't I ask for it now? We'll see if it's something that is of value to us, and if not, we won't utilize it. So at this point, we're asking for the council to accept the classification and study proposal of Flaherty and Hood, including the additional service options as identified, in an amount not to exceed $53,250.
Nice, so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. I like Flaherty and Hood, I guess. They're the coalition lobbyists, so they do a good job at that. But they don't do a very good job of saying a cost not to exceed. Because they said it's a cost not to exceed $40,000, but here we are spending $53,250. So they should have said a cost not to exceed $53,250.
In our proposal, we asked for a strong recommendation to have something like that. One of the proposals did not have it at all, and the other one just did not have many Minnesota clients, or only had one, so made me nervous. So the other one did
pay
include
equity
it.
or anything.
Correct. So, yes.
I noticed their rates are lower than a different law firm, but we'll talk about that next. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. So we just hired that attorney for $155 an hour. Next item on the agenda. Discussion of civil attorney contract renewal.
Yeah, so we have been with Ratswick, Rozak, and Maloney since 2014. The contract that we currently have expires at the end of this year. We asked Ratswick, Rozak, and Maloney for a proposal. It was attached. Some increases are the non-hourly rate increased by $10 an hour for 2023, an additional $5 per hour for 2024. Development matters hourly rate increased by $10. That cost is passed on to developers, and litigation matters hourly rate increased by $5 an hour for 2023, and no change for either of those rates in 2024. The retainer amount would stay the same for 2023 as it is in 2022 for $53,000. And the proposal has a $2,000 a year increase for 2024 at $55,000. The alternative options and effects comments, we listed the amount. The first column is the total amount we've paid to the firm over the last years. And the next column represents is what we budget for. The difference between the two would be numbers that the HRA and BPU has paid, as well as legal fees for construction projects that go directly to the project. So if we
So
were
you say the part we budget for, that's the part the city general funds, working
Yes.
funds or whatnot are
Yes.
paying for the services.
yes.
So the retainer's $53,000, but we're keeping him busy to the tune of $147,000 some years. That's,
And that would be the lawsuit that was, shoot, I left
that
it
a top
upstairs.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes.
Okay, looking for,
So we're authorizing staff to enter into an agreement with Ratrick, Rozak, and Maloney for 2023, 2024, or direct staff to go out for RFP for civil attorney services.
Your
My
turn.
turn. I move that we authorize staff to enter into an agreement with Ratliff, Rozak, and Maloney for 2023 and 2024.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? I'll just note that this law firm's rates are $165 an hour, which is $10 higher than $155. But they were $150, today they are. Put your work tomorrow, we're paying you $150. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. Next up, adopt a resolution. Is that on the main calendar or is that on us?
That's on us.
Okay, adopt a resolution establishing deferred assessment criteria. Oh, yeah, yep.
Okay, so
I'm at the meeting now, physically present.
2016 was the last time a resolution establishing the criteria for deferred assessment was reviewed by council. Property values have changed since that time, in particular between pay year 2021 or 2022 and 2023. Staff had our attorney review the resolution, which we revealed under our retainer portion, just an FYI. And we reviewed the resolution, so if I go to the red line version, we just kind of did some wording. We updated the application to be November 1st rather than August 5th. August 15th, I do believe, because we don't even have the assessments determined for the year by that date, so that's why we did November 1st. So basically, the changes that we made were Chapter 4. We just kind of clarified some additional information. We removed C, which we could never verify. Number 5, so Minnesota statute is what lists out the criteria that you can allow for deferments. And so when we went to the page, we could just kind of change this, move this paragraph to below, so know that even if somebody isn't meet these qualifications, you can still defer the assessment. So A and B is basically just breaking out what state statute said in number 1, with the additional requirement that they have to have a signed letter from a licensed medical facility if they say that they're retired by permanent disability. We added C, which is in state statute, and then staff did add 5D, based on council motion from May 2nd, for an individual who qualifies for the veteran exclusion, therefore they don't pay property tax and didn't realize that it did not cover assessments. So they would still have to submit an application, meet the income and the assessment criteria amount, which is set at $300 as the principal amount, which all of our assessments are over $300, so I don't know if council wants to look at that. But the value of the home would not be a qualification for hardship if the value was within the exclusion amount of the disabled veteran qualification. This is not a requirement by state statute. It can be removed and deferment can still be allowed by council based on exceptional and unusual circumstances of the application. So it is something that council did, or that staff added, but it definitely does not need to be included. That was basically the major changes. Oh, the median household income, or the median household estimated market value has gone up to $173,800 for pay year 2023. And that was received from the county assessor's office. So in 2016 it was 110, now it's 173,800. So what staff is doing is, or staff is looking to adopt the proposed resolution establishing the criteria for deferment of assessment, which I think the main topic is if 5D should be listed or not. And if you're comfortable with the rest of the changes that staff made, removing C, increasing the value.
I make that motion as Connie stated.
Second.
Including D, giving the
Yes.
leeway to the disabled veterans, yes. Okay, any discussion? Hearing none, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. We're adjourned at 7:12.
Did you need a 20-minute break today, or did
I
you,
was thinking about picking up smoking again. Kevin, not gonna lie.
for 20 minutes?